In this video, you will learn about budgeting, the most exciting topic in the world. I'll start off by providing 3 tips that I use when I budget. Then I'll jump into the actual YNAB software, walking you through how I budget utilizing the software. And then at the end of the video, I'll provide an update on where I'm at in my debt-free journey. So stay tuned. Welcome to my channel. I'm Harlan D. White, where we're focused on eliminating debt and minimizing the if-only regrets with money. Now, with budgeting, it's never a one-size-fits-all type of deal. Everyone's budget is going to be slightly different. Everyone's going to have different priorities. However, with a lot of things, there are general principles. And for me, a concept that kind of helps me to stay on track when I budget and not to get too overwhelmed is being specific, being general, and being consistent. Now, the items that I want to be specific on are those items that I know are coming out each and every single month, and they're my monthly obligations. So these are things like rent, these are things like utilities, phone bills, and any other subscription that I have tied to my bank accounts that I know are going to come out each and every single month. Now, I want to be real specific on those categories so that if I ever want to go back later and trying to improve on where I can cut costs, I'll know exactly where I can cut costs within those categories. The remaining categories I consider general. So I don't want to get too specific on those categories because those aren't going to be very consistent each and every single month. I would even consider things like groceries in the general category, right? Because you're not going to say what type of groceries. So it's just high level groceries. And then the last concept that really helps me is just the concept of being consistent, right? Not everything is going to come overnight, but if you can just stay consistent, budgeting each and every single month, for me, I try to put together a budget each time I get paid. Over time, I realize that I'm going to get better at it. I'm going to be able to look back and say, hey, I'm a lot further along than where I started. So just budget specifically, budget generally, and then budget consistently. All right, let's jump into my own particular budget in the YNAB software, and then afterwards I will walk you through where I'm at in my own debt-free journey. Okay, so here is the YNAB software. Last week I walked through YNAB's 4 simple rules of budgeting, and I had a comment that asked if I could walk through how I utilize the YNAB software to budget and to get out of debt. So today I'm going to walk through how I budget utilizing YNAB. What you'll see up here is the month. So right here is the month of August, and so that's the month that we're actually going to be budgeting for. Right here is the to be budgeted amount, which is $3,390.93. So today we're going to follow YNAB's rule number 1, which is give every dollar a job. Now, I did just get paid, but I had some money already sitting there. However, we will allocate all of that right now today. All right, so the first category that I have is credit card payments. Now, I only have one credit card, and it's primarily to help me to build my credit at this point. And what YNAB's methodology does is every time I make a purchase on the credit card, it'll automatically pull that money into my budget. So it took $54.14 out of my to be budgeted category automatically so that at the end of every month, I'll have enough money budgeted so that I can pay my credit card off in full. So that's how YNAB handles credit cards. So that's automatically taken out of my budget, and it's not a part of that to be budgeted amount up here. Okay. Next item that I want to cover is when I get paid, I look at the monthly obligations. So right here, you can see my monthly obligations up here. And so far this month, I have budgeted almost $1,800. Essentially, this is my fixed cost of my expenses for every month. It's around $1,800 at this point in time. And what you'll see is that down here towards the right, there's a couple categories where they already have amounts budgeted. So I already have money setting aside to make those payments. As you can see, I notate that one is due on the 22nd of the month, another one's due on the 24th. So that money's already set aside. So that is not a part of my to be budgeted amount. However, the first thing I look to do is I look at this monthly obligations category and I look to see what do I need to pay for prior to my next paycheck. Now, going through this month's budget, I looked at the Audible and I've already paid the month of August, and I determined I'm not going to pay the month of September because I already have some credits built up. So I'm going to cancel that subscription temporarily. However, I will go ahead and budget for rent. And so what you see right here is the $700 that is I already paid for this month. So now I'm actually budgeting for next month. So I need to increase that amount to $1,400. And when I do that, you'll see that over on the right-hand side, there is $700 that shows up in green. And that basically shows how much I've budgeted towards rent, and the to be budgeted amount dropped by $700. So I have my budget laid out in a way that I prioritize where the money needs to go first. And then at the end, when I kind of go through all the categories, I look back and I see if there's any other places that I can fill in the gaps. So the next one that I know that I need to pay before my next paycheck is this Adobe. Right now, I'm planning to maybe either eliminate that or reduce that cost. But for now, I'm going to budget it fully. So I'm going to increase it to $112.60. You'll see the $56.30 went over to the budget category. And car insurance. I need to put aside money for car insurance. Okay, so that has been funded as far as my monthly obligations. The next one you'll see is vidIQ, and it's not due till the 6th of the month. And I know I'll get paid before then. So right now, I'm not going to worry about budgeting for any of these categories that I know I will get a paycheck before the next time I need to pay them. And I already know that these down here are already funded, so I'm not going to worry about those at all either. So the next category for me that I look to prioritize is debt. Now, you'll see right here, this month I've already spent or paid $3,359.30 towards debt. And so right now I'm only planning to spend another $500 on this paycheck. So what I'll do is I'll increase this amount by $500. And you'll see that the to be budgeted amount or the budget amount increased to $500. Next is giving. So I will look to do $250. So I need to increase that to $300. Perfect. And then next is savings. So you can see over here, this is the category savings, and I am prioritizing savings as well. So what I want to do as far as big items, these are bigger purchases that I don't anticipate being able to pay with just one paycheck. So I've anticipated, or I want to put aside $200 for big items. I have a goal this year to actually have money to shop during Black Friday for needed items. So I want to start saving now. I also want to put another $100 towards my emergency fund. Now, for me personally, I have what I consider an emergency fund. It's roughly about $2,000. However, I do want to continue to add to that a little bit at a time. And then at the end of my debt-free journey, and if I have an opportunity to make a lump sum payment, then I might look to do that out of some of the savings that I've accumulated. But just during these times, I feel as though it's very smart to continue to increase my emergency fund whenever possible. The next category that I have in savings is a vacation. Well, I know next week I'm taking a little mini vacation, so I am going to set aside $500 for that. It's not really even savings at this point, but I will keep it there. Coming down to monthly expenses. Now, these are expenses that typically vary month to month, but as I continue to build out my budget month to month, these numbers will get a lot more accurate, but I know I'm putting an additional $200 in this family category. So that's going to be $573.70. Groceries, don't do much there, but $50. Household personal items, $40. Gas, we're going to say approximately another $40 in gas. Miscellaneous, I don't really budget for the miscellaneous category. That would just come if there was some random thing that I needed to pay for and it didn't really fit into any other category. I might throw it into the miscellaneous, but I'll just keep it on there for now. So next I'm going to my just for fun budget category. As you can see, I love eating out. I've already spent almost $400. However, I'm going to add another $100 to that amount. So that will be $494.38. Okay, fun money. I'm not going to do anything for that because that's going to come out of my vacation money. And golf, I don't intend on playing any golf in between now and my next paycheck. So we're going to keep that as is. Supplements, I know I'm placing orders for some more protein, etc. So I'm going to give myself $100 there. Clothing, I anticipate buying some clothes between now and my next paycheck. So I'm actually budgeting $120 for that. And then as I scroll down, business, fitness, productivity, education, don't plan on making any paint expenses there. And then I do plan on going to get my oil change. So I'm going to put $50 in for the oil change. All right. So I've gone through all the different categories at this point, and you'll see up here at the top, the to be budgeted amount is still $68.63. So what I'm going to go back and do is, and I'm going to look to fund some of the other categories that I didn't fund yet that I know that I have to pay for next month. So we'll go ahead and add another $10 for this expense. We'll add another $25. This is my monthly fitness expense. Oops, I need to make that 50. All right, and then we'll also add for the Canva Pro. We'll go ahead and put money in for that one. Boom. And that's about it. So you see, I still have $19.83 left to be budgeted. So typically what I'll just look to do is I'll throw it into the savings for now. So I'll put into the big items savings portion. So that'll be $219.83. And that'll go ahead and clear out that amount. Welcome back. Hopefully you enjoyed that walkthrough through how I budget with YNAB. Again, if you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments below. Now, here's the update on my debt-free journey. I've reduced my debt by a whole dollar since last week. And this really had to do with credit card number 3. And I had not realized the amount that was showing up on my credit report was actually different than the amount that I owed because there were some legal fees tied to that debt. So this is definitely another video for another time. But long story short, I did not go to court when I should have, and as a result, there was an award giving to credit card number 3. So in this particular case, I will not be able to negotiate the debt down, and I will need to pay it in full. And so if you'll notice, I moved this to the next debt that I am focused on paying off. But because there was a court fee added to it, essentially the court fee was $499.02. And I made a payment of $500. So it pretty much wiped it out, and I was able to essentially reduce my debt by a whole dollar in the last week. Not upset though. I will continue to press forward. I will continue to fight to eliminate all this debt. If you have gotten any value out of this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And also to hit that notification bell so that you can be alerted the next video that I put out. Until next time.